Imagine waking up every day with unstoppable energy, crystal clear focus, and the drive to achieve every goal you've ever set. This audiobook is your daily companion to transform your life, sharpen your mindset, and build habits that guarantee progress. Across 10 powerful chapters, you will learn how to develop a consistent morning routine, set clear goals, visualize success, take immediate action, track progress, eliminate distractions, practice gratitude, challenge yourself, reflect each night, and build unshakable resilience. Every principle is designed to be practical, actionable, and life-changing so that you can apply it immediately and see results. This video delivers pure value with zero interruptions, no ads, and lessons you can use every single day. Hit subscribe right now to join a community of motivated achievers and get your daily dose of motivation that will push you to reach your highest potential, starting today. Chapter 1. Develop a consistent morning routine to start strong daily. The day begins the moment the alarm breaks, the silence, and the first choice is made. And that choice matters more than any plan written later, because how the morning starts determines how the day behaves, and how the day behaves determines who you become over months and years. You must own the first hour of your day as if it is a training ground for your life, because mastery is built in the small repeated actions that look trivial now, but compound into strength. Rise at a consistent time even when motivation is low, and set one immovable rule for yourself. Wake within 2 minutes of the first alarm, and the world will stop giving permission for half measures. The physical act of getting out of bed anchors your will to action, and the simplest tools will help you win that first fight. Place your alarm across the room so the body must move to silence it. Put a glass or bottle of water on the bedside table the night before, so your first sensation is cool clarity in the mouth, and the second is hydration spreading through the body. Open a window or pull aside a curtain and let natural light touch your face for 30 seconds, because light tells the brain this is day, and daylight aligns rhythm and mood. Before checking any device, breathe like you mean it. 3 times long, slow inhales and longer, deliberate exhales, and feel the lungs expand and the ribs open, and notice how the mind settles when the body is steady. That breath is not a ritual, it is a reset that separates you from distraction and places attention on the present. Move your body with something simple and accessible in the first 15 minutes. A short walk outside, a series of dynamic stretches, or 5 to 10 minutes of body weight movement wakes the muscles and clears the fog. The sensation of blood flowing feels like readiness, and that feeling matters more than any idea about motivation, because readiness converts planning into doing. Keep a consistent sequence so the body knows what to expect, and the mind begins to run on habit instead of whim. This sequence is your anchor. Build it small and protect it fiercely. If mornings have been chaotic, start with 2 minutes of breathing and 1 minute of standing, and add 1 minute each day until the routine is solid. The 2-minute rule removes excuse and secures repetition, which is the real work of transformation. Use a short, powerful journal practice to give direction to your day, and do not aim for length, but for clarity. Write 3 clear lines each morning. Line 1, name the single most important task you will accomplish before anything else. Line 2, write the biggest obstacle that could stop you, and then add 1 concrete step to remove or reduce it. Line 3, state a short sentence that reminds you why this matters to your life, and read it aloud. This quick discipline turns vague ambition into concrete commitment, and reading the words aloud commits them to muscle memory. Add a stoic exercise here and practice a brief negative visualization for 30 to 60 seconds, imagining what could go wrong and how you would respond calmly. This is not pessimism, it is training the mind to handle difficulty and to treat problems as tasks, not tragedies. Prepare the environment before bed, so the morning routine does not require decision-making. Lay out the clothes you will wear the night before, prepare a filled water bottle, set the workspace, and place any tools you will need within reach. Decision avoidance saves willpower. Use habit stacking to attach the new routine to an existing reliable cue. If coffee is a constant for you, set the breath practice immediately after filling the kettle. If there is a shower, make the first movement a quick stretch by the bathroom door. Make the cue and the action inseparable so one leads to the other without debate. Design small rules that are simple to follow and inflexible in execution. Rules reduce argument with self. Examples include no phone until 30 minutes after waking, no email before the priority task, and no social media in the first hour. Social feeds are engineered to steal attention, and they will steal your day unless you protect that first hour. Replace the scroll with something that builds you, such as reading a single page of a book or reviewing a short list of goals. The priority task is the core of the morning because high-value work wins the day. Identify the one task that creates the most impact and attack it immediately. Use the 60-90 minute deep work block without interruption and set a time. During this time, remove all potential triggers of distraction. Phone on airplane mode, browser blockers on headphones, playing neutral focus sound, and a physical sign indicating you are unavailable. The effectiveness of the morning block is not about time spent, it is about undivided attention. Practice the philosophy of small wins. Start with a clear, achievable objective and complete it fully to feel the satisfaction of completion, which fuels the next action. Track progress visibly and simply. A paper calendar or a habit app that shows streaks creates momentum because progress is visual and humans respond strongly to visible evidence. Use a weekly review of 3 questions Sunday night or the first morning of the week. What was accomplished? What failed and why? What is the next step? This review anchors progress to reality and forces adaptation rather than repetition of ineffective routines. Accept that discipline will waver and that consistency matters more than perfection. When you miss a morning, do not collapse into self-blame and excuses. Get up and execute the smallest possible positive action. Recovery strengthens habit more than untouched streaks because it trains the system to return. Build blocks of identity language into your morning voice. Replace fragile statements with firm identity statements such as "I am someone who shows up" or "I build momentum each morning." The words used to describe yourself change behavior because identity drives action. Practice implementation intentions to automate responses to common obstacle form. Simple if-then plans such as, if I cannot go outside, then I will do 10 minutes of bodyweight movement. If I wake late, then I will compress the routine into a focused 15-minute reset and proceed to the priority task. These plans dismantle indecision. Apply sensory tactics to anchor the habit deeply. Cold water splashed on the face sharpens awareness and signals the body that it is awake. A short loop of music that triggers focus can be reserved only for morning work, and over time the brain will associate that sound with concentration. The first tastes and smells of the day matter too. Clean water, lemon, or a simple protein-rich breakfast stabilizes energy, so the body is not driven by spikes and crashes. Keep unnecessary choice minimal in the morning and reclaim that mental energy for action. Commit to measurable short-term goals tied to this routine. For 30 days, perform the routine at least 5 mornings per week, and keep a simple log. At the end of 30 days, evaluate honestly. If it has improved your output, continue, refine, and expand. If not, change one element and repeat. Small iterative adjustments win over grand strategies that never leave the plan. Teach the routine to be forgiving and adjustable while never tolerant of excuses. Understand the deeper reason behind your discipline. The morning routine is a daily statement about who you are and what you value. It is the smallest undefeated contest you wage each day against laziness and distraction. The repeated choice to act builds a character of reliability and power that shows up in relationships, work, and personal mastery. The practice trains attention and patience and teaches the brain to respect commitment. Finish each morning with a short centering moment of gratitude and purpose. Name one thing you are grateful for and one intention you hold for the day. and then move into action. Gratitude is not a fluffy add-on. It rebalances perception and prevents the distortion that always wants more and never enough. Finally, measure success by who you become, not by the temporary high of ticking boxes. Persistence built by small daily practices creates real change. Practice the routine with the clarity of purpose of a craftsman and the patience of someone who knows that mastery takes time. Do the simple things consistently. Protect the first hour, and the rest of the day will be built from a foundation you can rely on. Begin with a commitment to one concrete change tomorrow morning, and treat that promise to yourself as sacred, because the life you want is constructed one morning and one choice at a time. Chapter 2. Set clear goals to guide your actions every day. Setting clear goals is the cornerstone of achieving anything meaningful in life. Without clarity, energy dissipates, focus fades, and the day becomes a series of random actions that lead nowhere. Every choice, every action, every ounce of effort is amplified when directed toward a specific target. Goals are not just wishes or ideas floating in your mind. They are the coordinates on a map that guide you from where you are now to where you want to be. The first step is to define what success looks like in concrete terms. Be precise. General statements like "I want to be successful" or "I want to be rich" do not create focus. Instead, articulate exactly what you are aiming for. How much income, what skill, what position, what relationship, or what achievement do you want to reach? Give it numbers, timelines, and a clear picture. When a goal is vivid, the mind begins to subconsciously notice opportunities, patterns, and actions that align with it. Writing your goals down transforms thought into commitment. The act of writing is a contract with yourself. It converts abstract intention into something tangible. Keep your list visible. Place it where you will see it daily. Let it become part of your environment so your subconscious consistently aligns with it. Begin each day by reviewing your goals and asking yourself, what is the single most important action I can take today to move closer to this goal? This shifts the day from wandering to deliberate movement. Prioritize ruthlessly. Not every task has equal weight. Identify high-leverage actions that have the greatest impact and tackle those first. This prevents busyness from masquerading as progress and keeps energy directed toward meaningful outcomes. Break larger goals into smaller actionable steps. A goal without a roadmap is overwhelming, but a step-by-step plan converts ambition into achievable tasks. Assign deadlines for each step and treat them as non-negotiable. Consistency in completing these steps builds momentum. Progress, even if incremental, reinforces confidence and determination. Monitor your progress actively. Daily or weekly reflection on what has been accomplished keeps you honest with yourself. Note what worked, what failed, and what requires adjustment. This is not judgment, but calibration. Goals should be living tools, flexible yet anchored in clarity. Avoid vague or shifting targets that allow for excuses. Be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This framework transforms goals from ideas into results. Visualize achieving each goal as vividly as possible. Imagine not just the outcome, but the process, the effort, and the feelings of accomplishment. Visualization primes the mind, strengthens focus, and reduces mental resistance when challenges appear. When obstacles arise, revisit your goals and realign your strategies rather than abandoning them. Obstacles are signals to adapt, not reasons to retreat. Build accountability into your process. Share goals with someone who will challenge, question, and support you. Accountability increases commitment and reduces the temptation to procrastinate. Use daily rituals to reinforce focus on goals. Even 5 minutes spent reviewing, visualizing, or planning can create disproportionate returns over time. This repetition builds habit, which eventually carries you forward automatically. Guard your goals against distraction. In a world of endless notifications, social comparisons, and competing priorities, focus is the rarest currency. Create a disciplined space for uninterrupted work on your goals. Set boundaries and enforce them. Measure progress in real terms. Quantitative indicators such as sales numbers, project completions, or skill levels provide objective evidence of advancement. Qualitative markers such as confidence, clarity, and energy are equally important, reflecting internal growth alongside external results. Treat failure as feedback. Missing a milestone is not a defeat, it is information. Analyze, adjust, and move forward with greater precision. Learning from setbacks is a critical part of goal achievement and distinguishes those who succeed from those who stagnate. Integrate goals into daily life seamlessly. Align habits, choices, and environment so that they constantly support your objectives. Remove temptations or routines that pull energy away. Replace them with actions that compound toward results. Cultivate mental resilience. Goals often require persistence beyond initial motivation. Discipline becomes the bridge between intention and accomplishment. When motivation fades, habitual commitment sustains forward motion. Reinforce goals with affirmations and self-talk that emphasize capability and ownership. Words shape belief, and belief drives action. Actively imagine the person you need to become to achieve each goal. Align behavior with that identity every day. This approach ensures that you are not chasing external markers, but evolving internally to meet your aspirations. Review your goals regularly and adjust them as circumstances change. Flexibility is not weakness. It is the skill of responding intelligently to reality without losing sight of the ultimate target. Celebrate small wins along the way. Recognition of progress fuels confidence and strengthens dedication. These celebrations should reinforce behavior, not indulgence. Every accomplishment, no matter how small, confirms that the system works and that your efforts are not wasted. Prioritize energy management as much as time management. Goals require sustained effort, and peak performance is achieved when the mind and body are aligned. Exercise, nutrition, sleep, and mental clarity are not optional. They are foundational to consistent progress. Commit fully to each goal with clarity and focus. Half-hearted effort yields scattered results. Intense directed action produces momentum, which compounds rapidly into achievement. Approach each day as a mini battle in the pursuit of your objectives. Success is not accidental. It is the sum of deliberate choices, repeated consistently, and executed with discipline. Document every victory and every lesson. Reflection consolidates learning and transforms experience into wisdom. Share insights with others when appropriate, creating a feedback loop that strengthens understanding and reinforces commitment. Protect your vision fiercely. Avoid negative influences, toxic comparisons, and distractions that dilute focus. Surround yourself with those who elevate your thinking, challenge your comfort, and inspire action. Develop a mindset where the question is not whether a goal is possible, but how to achieve it efficiently and effectively. Shift perspective from limitations to solutions. Every problem becomes a puzzle with a solution waiting to be discovered. Persist relentlessly. Goals are achieved not in bursts of effort, but in sustained, deliberate action over time. Consistency compounds. Conclude each day with reflection on what moved you forward and what requires improvement. Adjust tomorrow's plan accordingly. This cycle of action, review, and adjustment ensures momentum never stalls. Setting clear goals is more than planning. It is an active commitment to yourself. It is the declaration that your time, energy, and life are directed intentionally. It is a daily practice of clarity, discipline, and focus. Achieve this, and each day becomes a building block of lasting accomplishment. Every action a step closer to the life you are determined to create. Chapter 3. Visualize success to strengthen focus and maintain momentum. Success begins first in the mind long before it is reflected in action or achievement. The images you carry internally dictate the choices you make externally and shape the energy you bring to every task. Visualization is not daydreaming or idle imagination. It is deliberate mental rehearsal that programs the mind to recognize opportunities, anticipate challenges, and respond with confidence. Begin by imagining in vivid detail the exact outcome you desire. Picture the environment, the sounds, the people, and even the subtle emotions that accompany that achievement. The more sensory the experience, the stronger the neural imprint on the brain. See yourself completing the task successfully, feel the satisfaction of progress, and allow your body to respond as though the accomplishment is already real. This process trains the mind to expect success and primes the nervous system for action. Every time the mind encounters a situation similar to your visualization, it recalls the confident rehearsal and acts with greater skill, decisiveness, and composure. Create a daily visualization routine that is brief but consistent. Even 5 to 10 minutes of focused mental imagery every morning or evening will have a compounding effect. The key is repetition and attention to detail. Begin each session by grounding yourself in the present with deep, deliberate breaths. Close your eyes and remove distractions. Then step fully into the scene of your success. Imagine starting from the beginning, moving through obstacles, making decisions with clarity, and finally reaching the result you desire. Incorporate emotion into the visualization. Feel the pride, relief, satisfaction, and even the subtle nervous energy that naturally arises before accomplishment. Emotion strengthens memory and enhances the mind's ability to replicate behavior in reality. Use visualization to prepare for challenges, not just the end result. Mentally rehearse difficult conversations, high-pressure tasks, or moments of doubt. See yourself responding calmly, strategically, and effectively. This reduces anxiety and strengthens confidence because the brain becomes familiar with handling these situations successfully. Combine visualization with concrete action plans. Picture each step you will take, not only the final outcome. By mapping the path in your mind, you create a clear blueprint that your body can follow naturally. Break complex goals into smaller components and visualize each individually. Success is rarely a single leap. It is the accumulation of intentional steps executed consistently. Link visualization to physical cues. Sitting in the same place, using the same posture, or even incorporating a simple gesture can create a conditioned response that triggers focus and readiness whenever needed. Over time, this mental rehearsal becomes automatic, and the brain enters a state of heightened awareness and motivation at will. Use vivid imagery for both short-term and long-term goals. For immediate tasks, imagine finishing them efficiently and with excellence. For long-term aspirations, see the culmination of consistent effort and the life you are creating. The combination keeps daily actions aligned with your larger vision. Avoid vague or superficial images. The more precise and detailed the mental picture, the more effective the training. Include not only positive outcomes but also the process, the effort, the obstacles, the decisions, and the adjustments needed along the way. A strong visualization habit strengthens resilience because the mind becomes accustomed to persistence and problem-solving before encountering real setbacks. Integrate affirmations subtly within visualization. Hear your inner voice affirm competence, focus, and determination. Words reinforce belief, and belief drives action. Do not force or overcomplicate them. Let them emerge naturally in the context of the mental scene. Pair visualization with physical movement when possible. Small gestures, walking through the motions, or practicing the posture of success enhances embodiment and consolidates the mental rehearsal into muscle memory. Treat visualization as an essential training tool, not a casual exercise. Like physical workouts, consistency, intensity, and deliberate focus yield measurable improvements over time. Track the effects of your visualization practice, note improvements in focus, decision-making, and confidence. Adjust details, intensify the sensory experience, or expand scenarios to deepen impact. Be patient, Neural adaptation takes repetition and time, but each session compounds, and growth becomes noticeable in weeks. Visualization also sharpens attention by creating a mental magnet for relevant opportunities. The mind begins to notice patterns, solutions, and resources that align with your goal because it has rehearsed the ideal response. External distractions have less sway because the brain is anchored in purpose. Maintain a balance between visualization and action. Imagining success is powerful, but it must be accompanied by tangible steps, executed consistently. Use the mental rehearsal to fuel clarity, confidence, and decisiveness in real-life execution. Visualizing setbacks and obstacles is equally important. See potential failures and rehearse how to respond calmly and efficiently. By practicing these scenarios in your mind, anxiety diminishes and problem-solving becomes instinctive rather than reactive. Reinforce visualization with reflection. After completing tasks or milestones, revisit the mental image and compare it with reality. Celebrate alignment and adjust future visualizations to sharpen accuracy. Engage all senses during visualization. Smell, touch, sound, and movement make the experience real to the brain. The nervous system cannot distinguish fully between vividly imagined success and real action, which is why rehearsal strengthens confidence and skill. Incorporate accountability into your mental rehearsal. Share elements of your visualization with a mentor, partner, or coach to refine clarity and deepen commitment. This external perspective strengthens focus and embeds the goal more concretely in your mind. Develop layered visualizations that start with the immediate action, move to the next step, and culminate in ultimate achievement. This creates a continuous mental pathway from now to your desired future, reducing hesitation and increasing decisiveness. Use morning and evening sessions to prime the day and consolidate learning. Morning visualization sets intention, guides focus, and energizes action. Evening sessions reflect, adjust, and reinforce learning while allowing the subconscious to process progress overnight. Avoid rushed or distracted visualization. Treat each session as a deliberate rehearsal, a mini training that prepares mind, body, and emotion for success. Recognize the mental fatigue that comes from inconsistency and resist temptation to skip practice. Over time, visualization becomes a mental muscle strengthening persistence, focus, and adaptability. Understand that visualization is a habit that compounds. The first week may feel strange, the second week inconsistent, but by the fourth or fifth week, mental clarity, calm confidence, and decisive action emerge naturally. Integrate visualization into a broader strategy of goal setting, reflection, and disciplined action. Alone, it is powerful. Combined with execution, it is unstoppable. Treat every session as a rehearsal for the person you are becoming. The image you repeatedly practice shapes character, decisions, and response under pressure. This is the essence of internal preparation, building the version of yourself capable of performing at peak level before you encounter challenges. Visualize not to escape reality, but to master it. By repeatedly experiencing success in the mind, the body and the will are prepared to meet reality with clarity, composure, and confidence. Let each session be deliberate, vivid, and emotionally charged. The brain records detail, the body remembers posture, and the mind develops unwavering expectation of progress. Commit to this practice daily and observe how focus sharpens, decisions accelerate, and motivation becomes effortless. Visualizing success is not optional for those who aim to achieve their goals. It is essential, deliberate, and transformative. Consistency creates momentum, momentum reinforces clarity, and clarity drives action. Over weeks and months, this single practice shapes performance, mindset, and achievement far beyond what casual effort could produce. Every day invested in mental rehearsal multiplies results,
turning ordinary effort into extraordinary outcome.
Chapter 4. Take immediate action to overcome procrastination and fear. Procrastination is the silent thief of potential, quietly stealing hours, days, and sometimes years from those who allow it to linger. It thrives on hesitation, uncertainty, and the illusion that there will always be a better time to act. Fear is its accomplice, whispering reasons to delay, creating mental obstacles that convince the mind that waiting is safer than doing. Overcoming these forces begins with one simple but decisive principle: take immediate action. Momentum is built not in planning endlessly or waiting for perfect conditions, but in the commitment to move now, even in small steps. Start by identifying the task that has been avoided the longest or causes the most tension. Break it into a single specific action that can be completed within minutes. The power of doing something immediately is that it transforms abstract anxiety into tangible progress. Once the first step is taken, resistance decreases and the next step feels achievable. Fear loses its grip when confronted with deliberate movement. The body responds to action with clarity and energy, while the mind experiences relief and confidence. Small wins create a chain reaction. Completing one task increases the likelihood of tackling another. Use the principle of the 5-minute rule. Commit to working on any difficult task for only 5 minutes. Often the initial engagement is the hardest part. Once those minutes pass, the mind and body recognize that the challenge is manageable and continue naturally. Pair action with decision-making. Indecision fuels procrastination. Make a clear choice immediately, even if it is imperfect, and follow through with execution. Waiting for certainty often results in stagnation. Accept that fear is not eliminated by avoidance, but by repeated confrontation. Approach tasks that provoke anxiety with a mindset of experimentation rather than perfection. The goal is progress, not flawless execution. Visualize the outcome of completing the action and contrast it with the consequences of continued delay. The mental exercise reinforces motivation and clarifies priorities. Break large, overwhelming projects into the smallest actionable units possible. Each completed unit delivers a sense of accomplishment and reduces the psychological burden. Avoid over-planning. Planning without execution is a trap that masquerades as productivity. Focus on movement, not perfection. Take immediate action physically and mentally. Position yourself in the environment that supports doing. Remove distractions, gather only what is necessary, and begin. Physical readiness reinforces mental resolve. Create visible markers of progress. A checklist, a simple note, or a physical representation of completed steps provides tangible feedback and strengthens the habit of action. Eliminate the habit of postponement by introducing deadlines for yourself. Internal and external accountability accelerates execution. Share goals with someone who will check progress, or commit publicly to yourself with a precise time frame. Fear often manifests as internal dialogue filled with what-ifs and doubt. Counter these thoughts with immediate steps, even small ones, to demonstrate to yourself that action is possible and that consequences are manageable. The repetition of this cycle trains the mind to prioritize doing over worrying. Reward decisive action. Recognize the courage in movement, no matter how minor the task. Reward reinforces behavior, building a positive association with execution. Practice situational awareness. Identify moments when procrastination typically appears. Anticipate triggers and plan immediate responses. This proactive approach reduces the opportunity for hesitation to take hold. Avoid waiting for inspiration. Action generates motivation, not the other way around. Motivation comes from accomplishment and movement. The first step ignites energy for the next. Commit to starting each day with at least one immediate action toward a priority goal. This sets a tone for the day and conditions the mind to favor productivity over delay. Embrace discomfort as part of the process. Resistance and fear are natural responses when stepping into new challenges. Recognize them, acknowledge them, and act through them. The repeated experience of acting in discomfort builds courage and resilience. Practice mental reframing. View procrastination as a signal to take action rather than a justification to delay. Treat fear as an indicator of growth rather than a reason to retreat. Incorporate micro-actions to maintain momentum. Small, consistent efforts compound over time and create significant results. The aggregate of immediate actions surpasses delayed effort in both impact and skill development. Maintain clarity of purpose. A strong understanding of why a task matters amplifies the urgency to act. Align daily actions with long-term goals to ensure energy is spent meaningfully rather than wasted in distraction. Apply environmental design to reduce procrastination. Arrange your workspace to minimize friction, remove unnecessary objects, and create cues that prompt action immediately. Habit formation thrives in optimized environments. Train the mind to recognize procrastination as a temporary state that can be overcome through movement. Name the feeling, confront it, and choose action in response. Avoid rationalizations that justify delay. They are obstacles disguised as reasoning. Develop a personal mantra or affirmation that emphasizes movement, focus, and courage, and repeat it before initiating tasks that provoke fear. Use deadlines as anchors for action, but do not rely solely on external pressures. Internal commitment to immediate execution cultivates self-reliance and confidence. Reflect after action is taken. Note the difference between the anticipated difficulty and the actual experience. This reflection reinforces that fear is often exaggerated and that action produces clarity. Commit to consistency. Make immediate action a habit, not an occasional response. The more often action precedes hesitation, the less power procrastination holds. Recognize that the cost of delay grows over time. Small postponements accumulate into significant opportunity loss. Immediate action reverses this drift, converting time into achievement. Use strategic prioritization. Focus immediate action on high-impact tasks that move goals forward, rather than low-value activities that only create the illusion of productivity. Treat failure as a learning step, not a deterrent. Taking action exposes gaps and mistakes, which provide valuable information for improvement. Build momentum through cascading tasks. Completing one small action creates energy and confidence to tackle the next. Momentum is the antidote to stagnation. Visualize the positive consequences of taking action and the negative consequences of delay before beginning. Let this mental rehearsal drive urgency. Accept that waiting for confidence or certainty is a trap. Confidence emerges through action, not before it. Fear diminishes when consistently met with deliberate effort. Reinforce success by documenting completed action. This record creates a tangible sense of progress and strengthens resolve for future tasks. Surround yourself with examples of action-oriented individuals. Observing decisiveness and initiative reinforces similar behavior in yourself. Commit to immediate action as a defining principle of daily life. Let it be the rule that when a decision is made, movement follows without hesitation. This discipline transforms fear into courage and potential into achievement. Each action taken immediately strengthens character, builds competence, and propels you closer to the life you desire. Delay is the enemy of progress. Motion is the fuel of growth. Choose to move now and create momentum that cannot be stopped.
Chapter 5. Track progress daily to measure growth and stay accountable. Progress cannot be measured without observation and reflection, and growth is invisible until it is recorded.
Tracking daily actions transforms effort into tangible results and provides a clear picture of whether energy is being invested wisely or wasted on distractions. Without measurement, the mind assumes movement equals progress, but often activity masks stagnation. The first step is creating a simple system that allows accountability. It does not need to be complex. A notebook, a journal, or a digital tracker is sufficient. Record every meaningful action toward your goals. Each step, no matter how small, matters. Writing things down solidifies intention, converts abstract effort into concrete data, and forces honesty with yourself. Review your progress at the same time every day. This builds consistency and conditions the mind to expect reflection, strengthening self-discipline. Begin by listing the key tasks that align with your priorities and note whether they were completed, partially completed, or skipped. Include observations about what worked, what hindered performance, and any adjustments needed for tomorrow. Use numbers, percentages, or measurable markers whenever possible. Data creates clarity. Qualitative notes supplement the numbers by revealing patterns of behavior, mental blocks, or environmental influences that affect results. Visual representation of progress is powerful. A calendar with check marks, a streak tracker, or simple graphs can provide immediate feedback and fuel motivation. Humans respond strongly to visible proof of accomplishment. Celebrate completion of tasks and milestones, no matter the size. Recognition of effort reinforces positive habits and motivates continued action. Avoid judgment or harsh criticism during tracking. The goal is insight and growth, not self-flagellation. Observing patterns allows for strategic adjustments rather than reactive frustration. Daily tracking also highlights inefficiencies. Tasks that consume energy without significant impact become visible, allowing you to reallocate focus to high-value activities. This prevents wasted effort and accelerates achievement. Use the data to identify peak performance periods. Tracking when energy, focus, and productivity are highest enables scheduling of critical tasks during those windows. Awareness of these patterns strengthens time management and output. Accountability is amplified when tracking is shared with a trusted partner, mentor, or coach. Reporting progress externally increases commitment and reduces the temptation to rationalize delays. Develop a ritual of reflection. Each evening, review accomplishments, challenges, and adjustments needed. Ask, what moved me forward? What distracted me? What can I improve tomorrow? These questions convert tracking into actionable insight. Avoid the trap of passive observation. Recording progress is only valuable when it informs next steps. Use the insights to plan the following day with clarity and purpose. Adjust routines, habits, or priorities based on observed patterns. Long-term tracking builds perspective. Looking back over weeks and months reveals trends invisible in daily fluctuations. Patterns of consistency, improvement, or stagnation emerge, allowing strategic interventions. Measure not only outputs, but also quality. Completing tasks is essential, but evaluating the effectiveness, impact, and alignment with goals ensures that effort translates into meaningful progress. Track emotional and mental states alongside tasks. Motivation, focus, and confidence influence performance. Awareness of these factors allows proactive strategies to maintain or recover optimal conditions. Record obstacles and solutions. Capturing challenges and responses creates a library of strategies that strengthens problem-solving for the future. Tracking is also a tool for reinforcing identity. Recording daily actions solidifies the self-image of someone committed, disciplined, and capable. This mental alignment accelerates behavior change and reinforces consistency. Integrate a habit of immediate recording. Don't wait for the end of the day or week. Noting actions as they occur increases accuracy, accountability, and awareness. Use a reward system to reinforce consistent tracking. Small incentives for completing daily logs or meeting milestones strengthen the behavior loop and increase the likelihood of long-term adoption. Avoid overcomplicating the system. Complexity creates friction, reduces adherence, and may lead to abandonment. Simplicity ensures sustainability. Include space for reflection.
lessons learned and insights gained. The process is as much about understanding yourself as it is about recording tasks. Align tracking with goals and priority. Daily logs should emphasize actions that contribute meaningfully to objectives rather than trivial busyness. Use tracking to identify leverage points. Some actions create disproportionately large effects. Recognizing these allows focus on activities that maximize results. Track both progress and setbacks. Honest recognition of delays, mistakes, or failures is essential for improvement. Concealing or ignoring them perpetuates inefficiency. Schedule periodic deep reviews weekly or monthly. Aggregated data reveals long-term trends, strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities for recalibration. Daily tracking informs these broader evaluations. Treat setbacks as data, not defeat. Each challenge provides insight into adjustments needed for growth and mastery. Reflect on patterns of procrastination, distraction, or avoidance to implement corrective action. Track energy and time expenditure alongside tasks. Understanding how resources are used highlights inefficiencies and opportunities to optimize performance. Use tracking as a feedback loop for continuous improvement. Each day's observation informs tomorrow's strategy, creating compounding progress over time. Record not only actions, but also intentions and deviation. Noting when plans are not followed identifies habits that undermine achievement and allows targeted intervention. Tracking creates discipline. The repeated act of recording and evaluating enforces structure, accountability, and conscious effort. Develop a morning review and evening reflection ritual. Morning review aligns focus with priorities and motivates immediate action. Evening reflection consolidates learning and reinforces accountability. Integrate technology-wise apps. Digital trackers or reminders can enhance accuracy and convenience, but should not replace reflection or conscious engagement with progress. Use the process to strengthen self-trust. Observing completion of commitments, even small ones, reinforces confidence in your ability to act and follow through. Document personal growth beyond measurable results. Skills, confidence, relationships, and mindset improvements should also be noted to create a holistic view of progress. Keep the system flexible. Life is dynamic. Adapt tracking to reflect changing goals, priorities, or circumstances without abandoning consistency. Develop a habit of transparency with yourself. Honest observation, free of rationalizations or excuses, is the foundation of genuine accountability. Track triggers that influence performance. Situations, environments, or moods that improve or diminish productivity provide actionable insight for optimizing conditions. Recognize compounding effects. Small daily actions, recorded consistently, reveal exponential growth over weeks, months, and years. The habit of tracking itself becomes a multiplier of success. Align tracking with visualization and goal-setting practices. Daily recording reinforces mental rehearsal and ensures that action corresponds with intention. Use reflection to adjust strategy. Identify which approaches yield results and which waste energy, then adapt methodically. Treat the process as both measurement and training. Tracking builds awareness, reinforces discipline, and strengthens decision-making capabilities. Understand that consistency is more important than perfection. A missed entry or delayed action is data, not failure. Resume immediately and maintain continuity. Build a visual record of achievement that inspires continued effort. Looking back on documented progress fuels motivation and creates confidence in ability to sustain momentum. Incorporate feedback from external sources. Observations from mentors, peers, or coaches enrich personal data and highlight blind spots. Commit to making tracking an integral part of daily routine. The discipline of observing, recording, reflecting, and adjusting transforms vague effort into focused growth, ensures accountability, and empowers consistent, measurable progress toward every goal.
Chapter 6. Eliminate distractions to maximize productivity and energy consistently. Distractions are the silent thieves of focus, energy, and results. quietly consuming hours while giving the illusion of activity. Every moment spent divided between multiple tasks dilutes the quality of effort and slows progress toward meaningful goals. To achieve consistency and peak performance, it is essential to eliminate anything that diverts attention from priority actions. Begin by identifying the sources of distraction in your environment. This can include notifications, social media, unnecessary conversations, cluttered workspaces, or even internal thoughts that drift aimlessly. Awareness is the first step. Without knowing what pulls energy away, it is impossible to regain control. Once identified, take deliberate measures to remove or limit exposure. Silence notifications, close irrelevant applications, and create a physical workspace that encourages focus. The brain responds strongly to cues in the environment, so a clean, organized space signals readiness for concentrated effort. Schedule focused work periods using time blocks. During these sessions, commit entirely to the task at hand without interruption. Treat these periods as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. Short, consistent intervals of deep work are more effective than long stretches filled with distractions. Use techniques like the Pomodoro method to maintain energy and concentration while allowing brief breaks to refresh the mind. During breaks, step away from work, move physically, hydrate, or engage in a brief mental reset. Avoid the temptation to check messages or engage with unrelated content, as this interrupts flow and diminishes the ability to return to deep focus. Train the mind to recognize and reject low-value distractions. Each time an impulse arises to divert attention, pause, acknowledge it, and redirect energy to the priority task. This practice strengthens self-discipline and mental resilience. Prioritize tasks by importance and urgency. Focus first on activities that have the highest impact on long-term goals. When energy and attention are directed toward what truly matters, distractions naturally become less compelling. Set boundaries with others. Communicate clearly when focused work periods are in effect and minimize interruptions from colleagues, friends, or family. Protecting time is essential to preserving momentum. Consider digital detox strategies. Limit access to social media, email, or entertainment platforms during critical productivity hours. Out of sight often means out of mind, allowing concentration to remain intact. Develop habits that reduce internal distraction. Meditation, mindfulness, and deliberate breathing exercises strengthen attention span and increase awareness of when the mind drifts. Mental clarity supports sustained action. Batch low-value tasks together to prevent them from continuously breaking focus. Designate specific times for email, calls, and minor obligations instead of responding reactively throughout the day. Use visual cues to maintain focus. Post reminders of key objectives, eliminate clutter, and create an environment that consistently signals priority and purpose. Implement accountability measures. Sharing progress or committing publicly to work sessions reinforces adherence to focused periods and reduces the temptation to divert attention. Recognize that distraction often arises from discomfort with challenging work. Action through discomfort builds mental toughness, reduces avoidance, and strengthens commitment to goals. Incorporate energy management into productivity. Address physical factors like sleep, nutrition, and exercise. A well-maintained body supports sustained focus, while fatigue and hunger exacerbate susceptibility to distractions. Schedule deep work during natural peak performance periods. Some individuals perform best in the morning, others in the afternoon or evening. Align high-priority tasks with peak energy windows for maximum efficiency. Remove multitasking as a standard practice. The human mind cannot perform multiple high-value activities simultaneously. Sequential focus ensures quality, efficiency, and speed of progress. Create a system for capturing distracting thoughts without acting on them immediately.
Jotting down ideas or tasks for later review prevents mental drift while maintaining organization. Limit decision fatigue. Simplify routine choices in areas like meals, attire, and scheduling to conserve cognitive energy for meaningful work. Automate repetitive tasks when possible to reduce unnecessary mental load. Cultivate self-awareness around internal dialogue. Negative self-talk or overthinking can become significant distractions. Recognize patterns and consciously shift toward constructive, task-focused thoughts. Reward sustained focus. Celebrate periods of deep work to reinforce the value and satisfaction derived from uninterrupted effort. Use positive reinforcement to strengthen concentration habits. Integrate focus-enhancing tools and methods. Noise-canceling headphones, timers, productivity apps, and structured workflows all contribute to maintaining attention. Regularly review and adjust strategy. What distracts today may change tomorrow. Remain vigilant and proactive in adapting systems for maintaining focus. Recognize the cumulative effect of small distractions. Even minor diversions erode progress over time. Protecting attention is protecting results. Develop a mindset that values concentration as a critical resource. Treat time and attention as finite assets to be invested wisely. Practice deliberate entry and exit from focus period. Begin with clear intent, eliminate interruptions, and end with a brief reflection on accomplishments to reinforce purpose and direction. Avoid overcommitting. Taking on too many responsibility spreads attention thin and increases susceptibility to distraction. Prioritize ruthlessly and focus on what aligns with long-term objectives. Learn to say no to low-value engagements. Protecting mental space is as important as physical space. Surround yourself with individuals who respect focus and productivity. Social influences significantly impact attention management, so choose environments that support your objectives. Recognize internal triggers for distraction, such as boredom, stress, or indecision, and develop strategies to address them directly. Physical movement, breathing exercises, or task segmentation can redirect energy productively. Utilize single tasking as a default. Giving full attention to one task produces higher quality output in less time than juggling multiple responsibilities. Reinforce focus through routine. Consistent work habits condition the mind to enter a state of attention automatically. Protect mental energy from unnecessary debates, excessive entertainment, or constant information consumption. Curate inputs to ensure they serve growth, knowledge, or goal attainment. Maintain flexibility while eliminating distraction. Unexpected events occur, but consistent prioritization ensures critical tasks remain on track. Develop a feedback loop by tracking focus periods and productivity level. Reviewing performance helps refine strategies, recognize patterns, and enhance efficiency. Strengthen self-discipline through progressive exposure. Gradually increase focus duration and complexity of tasks to build resilience against distraction. Apply environmental cues to trigger attention. Specific locations, scents, or background conditions can prime the mind for concentration. Avoid passive consumption of content that does not advance objectives. Every choice should be deliberate, with energy invested conscious. Align breaks with restorative activities rather than passive scrolling or entertainment. Plan transitions deliberately. Ending one task cleanly before beginning another reduces residual distraction and improves continuity. Build accountability into your environment. Visual progress markers, checklists, and public commitments encourage sustained attention. Practice mindful engagement with technology. Use tools intentionally rather than allowing them to hijack focus. The combination of self-awareness, environmental design, and disciplined habit formation transforms attention into a strategic asset. View distraction not as inevitable but as manageable with proactive strategy. Over time, consistent elimination of interruptions compounds into extraordinary results. Energy, focus, and productivity become natural states rather than rare accomplishments. Each day invested in focused work multiplies effectiveness, strengthens mental endurance, and accelerates progress toward meaningful goals. The discipline of maintaining attention in a distracted world separates those who achieve from those who drift. Protecting focus is protecting potential.
Chapter 7. Practice gratitude to boost mindset and maintain positivity. Gratitude is more than a polite expression or fleeting feeling. It is a deliberate practice that rewires the mind toward positivity and resilience. When the mind focuses on what is abundant rather than what is lacking, energy shifts, perspective expands, and opportunities become visible. Practicing gratitude daily strengthens mental clarity, emotional stability, and motivation. Begin by identifying tangible things in life that you value, no matter how small they may seem. It can be a functioning body, a supportive friend, a roof overhead, or a quiet moment in the morning. Naming these elements fosters awareness and anchors attention in the present, shifting focus from frustration, fear, or comparison. Commit to a daily ritual, whether writing in a journal, mentally listing 3 specific items, or expressing thanks aloud. The consistency of this practice creates a neural pattern, training the brain to recognize positivity even amidst challenges. Emphasize depth over quantity. Feeling gratitude for one significant experience or achievement creates a stronger impact than listing many superficial items. Connect gratitude to effort and growth. Recognize the people, choices, and circumstances that allowed progress or learning. This builds humility, perspective, and motivation to continue improving. Incorporate sensory awareness into gratitude. Visualize the sights, smells, textures, and sounds of what you appreciate. Engaging multiple senses amplifies the emotional impact and strengthens memory. Express gratitude to others directly. A simple message, gesture, or acknowledgement strengthens relationships, enhances mutual respect, and fosters an environment of support. Acts of appreciation often return positive energy, creating a cycle of reinforcement that benefits both giver and receiver. Use gratitude to counter negative self-talk. When criticism, doubt, or fear arises, consciously shift attention toward achievements, strength, or positive experiences. This interrupts cycles of pessimism and restores mental balance. Recognize challenges as sources of growth and learning. Even difficult situations can provide lessons, insights, or unexpected opportunities. Framing adversity through gratitude transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Maintain specificity in daily practice. Instead of general statements like, "I am grateful for my life," note particular experiences, people, or moments. Specificity deepens emotional connection and reinforces conscious recognition. Pair gratitude with reflection. Consider how circumstances unfolded, the effort involved, and the impact on personal development. This enhances awareness of cause and effect and strengthens the mind's ability to align action with values. Use reminders and cues to reinforce the habit. Morning routines, bedtime reflection, or visual prompts help anchor attention and ensure consistency. Link gratitude to action. Feeling appreciation should fuel effort and improvement, not passive contentment. Allow recognition of blessings to inspire contribution, work, and generosity. Track progress in maintaining a gratitude habit. Observing consistency strengthens accountability and reinforces the psychological benefits. Notice changes in mood, focus, and energy as the practice becomes established. Combine gratitude with mindful observation. Pay attention to small, often overlooked aspects of daily life, like the warmth of sunlight, the flavor of a meal, or the laughter of a colleague. Awareness fosters a deeper sense of abundance and presence. Avoid comparing yourself to others. Gratitude is personal and reflective. External comparisons undermine positivity. whereas focusing on individual circumstances reinforces internal strength. Use gratitude to enhance resilience. When setbacks occur, consciously identify what remains positive, what lessons are available, and what resources exist to overcome challenges. This mindset reduces despair and accelerates recovery. Engage in gratitude physically. Smiling, posture, and gestures of appreciation reinforce emotional experience and communicate authenticity to others. Let this practice permeate interactions, shaping behavior and influencing the environment positively. Recognize interdependence. Appreciate the systems, communities, and relationships that contribute to your well-being. Awareness of connection builds empathy and strengthens social support, which in turn fosters motivation and emotional balance. Avoid treating gratitude as a passive exercise. Actively engage, feel, and embody appreciation. Passive acknowledgement lacks the transformative power of intentional focus and emotional investment. Challenge the mind to find gratitude even in ordinary routine. Daily commuting, repetitive tasks, or mundane responsibilities can be reframed as opportunities for growth, skill development, or efficiency. Link gratitude with goals and ambition. Recognizing progress, resources, and support increases motivation to act intentionally, persist, and overcome obstacles. Observe the physiological benefits. Gratitude has been shown to reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and improve sleep. These effects reinforce energy and focus for sustained action. Make gratitude proactive rather than reactive. Identify positive aspects before stress or challenge occurs, creating resilience and mental preparedness. Use written lists to visualize abundance. The act of writing reinforces neural patterns and creates a tangible record of positive experiences. Include gratitude for personal strength and abilities. Recognizing effort, perseverance, and skill builds self-confidence and reinforces the capacity to achieve goals. Expand awareness to the external world. Appreciate nature, public services, or societal contributions that facilitate daily life. This broad perspective fosters humility and balance. Combine gratitude with breathing and mindfulness. Deep, conscious breaths, while acknowledging positive elements, amplify calm, focus, and emotional regulation. Integrate gratitude with planning. Begin goal setting or task planning sessions by recognizing existing resources, progress, and support. This frames action with positivity and confidence. Avoid treating gratitude as obligation or routine without engagement. Genuine emotional connection is required to cultivate lasting mental and behavioral benefits. Encourage gratitude during adversity by seeking learning, insight, or unexpected positive outcome. This strengthens adaptability and mental toughness. Use gratitude to enhance leadership and influence. Recognizing contributions of others inspires loyalty, cooperation, and respect. Observe how attitude shifts when gratitude is practiced consistently. Positivity, clarity, and emotional stability naturally emerge, enhancing problem-solving, creativity, and decision-making. Incorporate gratitude in communication. Express appreciation during conversations, meetings, or collaborations to improve relationships and reduce conflict. Leverage gratitude to reduce impulsivity and reactivity. Awareness of what is valued stabilizes emotional responses and promotes thoughtful action. Commit to gratitude as a daily discipline. Consistency compounds the benefits, transforming perception, mindset, and response patterns over time. Recognize that small, repeated acknowledgements create powerful cumulative effects on mental health, focus, and motivation. Integrate gratitude into reflection routines. At the end of each day, review actions,
interactions, and experiences, noting moments for appreciation and lessons learned. Reinforce growth by linking gratitude to progress toward long-term objectives. Observe shifts in perspective, noticing increased patience, empathy, and calm under pressure. Gratitude enhances awareness of abundance rather than scarcity, fostering a mindset aligned with achievement. Combine mental, emotional, and physical awareness. Engage fully in recognizing and feeling appreciation, allowing the mind to anchor positivity and the body to embody satisfaction. Use gratitude to interrupt negative cycles. When frustration, resentment, or self-doubt arises, consciously redirect attention to appreciation, immediately improving mood and mental clarity. Foster creativity through gratitude. Awareness of resources, support, and progress unlocks new possibilities, solutions, and opportunities. Practice gratitude collectively. Share recognition and thanks in teams, groups, or families to amplify energy, cohesion, and morale. Observe long-term effects. Regular practice leads to habitual optimism, stronger relationships, increased resilience, and consistent motivation. Let gratitude shape action. Appreciation should inspire contribution, effort, and intentional progress toward meaningful objectives. Commit to making gratitude an integral part of daily life. It is not a passive feeling but an active force that strengthens mindset, fuels energy, and maintains positivity through every challenge and opportunity.
Chapter 8. Challenge yourself regularly to expand limits and embrace change. Growth requires moving beyond comfort, stepping into uncertainty, and embracing challenges that stretch both skill and mindset. The human brain naturally resists change and seeks safety, but real progress emerges only when boundaries are tested. To challenge yourself regularly, start by identifying areas of life where complacency has taken hold. This may include physical fitness, intellectual pursuits, emotional resilience, social skills, or professional development. Once these areas are recognized, create deliberate actions that push limits in small but consistent ways. Each challenge should require effort beyond what is easy or automatic, demanding focus, courage, and adaptability. The first step is often the hardest because it requires acknowledging fear, uncertainty, or discomfort. Confront this resistance head-on by committing to action regardless of unease. Consistent exposure to controlled challenges builds confidence, strengthens mental fortitude, and prepares the mind for increasingly complex or high-stakes situations. Set measurable goals for each challenge to track improvement and maintain motivation. Small wins accumulate, demonstrating capability and fostering a mindset oriented toward growth rather than avoidance. View failure as essential feedback rather than defeat. Every misstep provides insight into strategy, preparation, and mindset, allowing adjustments that improve future performance. Approach challenges with curiosity rather than judgment. Seeing obstacles as opportunities for learning reduces anxiety and encourages experimentation. Embrace discomfort as an indicator of progress. When effort feels strenuous or results seem distant, recognize that these sensations signal growth at the edge of ability. Avoid repetitive routines that provide comfort but no advancement. Seek experiences that require new skills, problem-solving, or strategic thinking. Diversity in challenges enhances adaptability and creativity. Integrate reflection after each challenge, assess performance, identify lessons, and consider how experiences reshape understanding and capability. This reflection converts effort into wisdom and prepares the mind for the next step. Surround yourself with individuals who push boundaries themselves. Being in an environment of high standards, constructive competition, and ambitious energy accelerates personal expansion and reduces complacency.
Experiment with different domains of challenge simultaneously. Physical challenges strengthen discipline, intellectual challenges stimulate creativity, and social challenges enhance communication and emotional intelligence. Balanced growth develops resilience across multiple dimensions of life. Schedule regular intervals for deliberate challenge rather than waiting for opportunity to arise. Creating intentional pressure ensures consistent progress and prevents stagnation. Emphasize effort and process over outcome. The value of a challenge lies in the engagement, learning, and resilience developed through participation rather than in immediate success. Identify comfort zones and consciously leave them. Small adjustments, speaking up in meetings, initiating difficult conversations, attempting unfamiliar tasks, accumulate into broader capability and confidence. Monitor internal dialogue. Negative self-talk often emerges when stepping into new challenges. Replace doubt with self-affirmation and evidence of prior successes to maintain forward momentum. Develop mental flexibility. Adaptation to unforeseen difficulties within challenges strengthens problem solving and reduces stress response. Physical preparation supports mental challenge. Strength, endurance, and health provide a foundation for sustained effort and recovery from intense experiences. Track progress across challenges. Journaling or digital recording highlights growth, patterns of resilience, and areas for continued improvement. Recognize that growth is not linear. Some challenges may feel overwhelming or produce slower results. Patience and persistence are required to integrate learning and build competence over time. Create mini-challenges within larger goals. Breaking complex objectives into achievable steps maintains motivation, provides feedback, and prevents overwhelm. Celebrate achievements and milestones. Recognition of effort reinforces commitment, confidence, and the desire to continue testing limits. Introduce novelty deliberately. Seek experiences outside familiar environments to stimulate creativity, adaptability, and open-mindedness. Accept that discomfort and uncertainty are indicators of life expansion. Avoid retreating to ease when the mind or body signals resistance. Leverage accountability. Sharing intentions and progress with mentors, coaches, or peers strengthens commitment to challenges and provides constructive feedback. Rotate types of challenges to maintain engagement. Alternating physical, mental, emotional, and social tasks prevents stagnation and develops comprehensive resilience. Cultivate curiosity and a learning mindset. Approaching challenges with the goal of exploration reduces fear and increases engagement. Anticipate obstacles and develop strategies proactively. Preparedness reduces unnecessary stress and increases likelihood of successful navigation through difficult situations. Apply challenges to real-world goals. Testing limits in meaningful contexts ensures that effort translates into growth that impacts career, relationships, or personal achievement. Reflect on mindset shifts after repeated challenges. Awareness of increased confidence, adaptability, and mental toughness reinforces commitment to ongoing growth. Incorporate deliberate risk-taking within reason. Controlled exposure to uncertainty enhances decision-making, problem-solving, and resilience under pressure. Use visualization as preparation. Mentally rehearsing the challenge enhances focus, reduces anxiety, and primes the mind for action. Engage in challenges collaboratively when appropriate. Cooperation, feedback, and shared problem-solving expand learning opportunities and provide social reinforcement. Monitor stress levels and recovery. Adequate rest, nutrition, and mental breaks allow sustainable engagement with high-intensity challenges. Avoid comparison with others. Focus on personal improvement and benchmarks rather than external measures of success. Maintain consistency in challenging practices. Regularity reinforces neural patterns of resilience, strengthens habits, and builds confidence in one's ability to face difficulty. Integrate challenges into daily routines. Even small intentional acts of discomfort accumulate into meaningful growth over time. Observe and celebrate the evolution of skills and mindset. Recognizing change strengthens motivation and reinforces the value of challenge. Reflect on how challenges expand perception. Stepping beyond previous limits increases awareness of capability, perspective, and opportunity. Adapt strategy based on experience. Learn from unsuccessful attempts and apply insight to future challenges. Strength lies not in avoiding difficulty, but in confronting it repeatedly. Each challenge undertaken expands the boundary of possibility, reshapes belief in potential, and reinforces the mindset necessary to navigate life with resilience. Embrace unpredictability. Challenges often introduce elements outside one's control. Acceptance and flexibility transform obstacles into opportunities. Track cumulative effects. Over weeks and months, consistent engagement with challenges produces compounding growth that manifests in confidence, skill, and achievement. Recognize the role of persistence. Success rarely comes from one challenge, but from continued willingness to engage, learn, and adapt. Develop self-trust through repeated challenge. Confidence grows when the mind and body experience the reliability of action in the face of difficulty. Allow challenges to cultivate creativity. Problem-solving in new situations stimulates innovation, insight, and adaptability. Build emotional resilience through discomfort. Exposure to fear, stress, or uncertainty strengthens regulation, patience, and perspective. Use each challenge as a benchmark. Compare past performance to current outcomes to measure growth and reinforce progress. Let challenge become a guiding principle, not occasional effort. Embody the mindset of consistent expansion, embracing discomfort as a path to mastery and growth. Commit to stepping beyond comfort daily, testing limits intentionally, and allowing change to shape skills, perspective, and potential.
Chapter 9. Reflect each night to learn lessons and improve tomorrow. Reflection is one of the most powerful tools for growth, yet it is often overlooked in the rush of daily life. Ending each day with deliberate reflection allows the mind to process experiences, recognize achievements, and extract lessons from challenges. Without this practice, mistakes repeat, insights remain hidden, and progress slows. Begin by setting aside a quiet time each night, free from distraction, where attention is focused entirely on the events of the day. Consider every action, decision, and interaction as material for learning. Ask yourself what was accomplished, what obstacles emerged, and how responses could be improved. Documenting these observations is essential. Writing creates clarity, solidifies learning, and creates a reference for future decisions. Avoid vague conclusions. Specificity is key. Identify precise moments where choices led to success or setbacks, and analyze the reasoning behind them. Recognize patterns in behavior, thought, and emotion. Awareness of recurring habits, reactions, or tendencies empowers proactive adjustments. Reflect not only on outcomes, but also on effort and process. Evaluate whether actions were aligned with goals, whether energy was focused on high-value tasks, and whether time was managed effectively. Examine emotional responses to stress, disappointment, or unexpected events. Understanding emotional triggers allows development of strategies to maintain control and act intentionally in the future. Consider interactions with others. Reflect on communication, collaboration, and influence. Identify moments where relationships were strengthened or strained, and explore how behavior contributed to each. Integrate gratitude into nightly reflection. Acknowledge achievements, small wins, and support from others. This reinforces positivity, balances critique, and maintains motivation. Use reflection to refine priorities. Each night's insights inform the next day's plan, ensuring that actions are purposeful and aligned with long-term objectives. Analyze failures without judgment. Focus on learning rather than self-blame. Each setback contains valuable information about process, preparation, or mindset that can be leveraged for improvement. Evaluate decision-making patterns. Consider whether choices were deliberate, impulsive, or influenced by external pressures. Identify strategies to improve judgment and foresight. Observe productivity patterns. Reflect on when energy and focus were strongest and weakest during the day. Adjust scheduling, breaks, and task allocation based on these observations to optimize performance. Incorporate a review of habits. Identify which routines supported progress and which undermined efforts. Decide consciously which habits to reinforce, modify, or eliminate. Reflect on mindset and attitude. Notice moments of positivity, negativity, resilience, or avoidance. Understanding mental states helps build consistency and emotional control. Use reflection to uncover hidden opportunities. Daily analysis often reveals solutions, ideas, or adjustments that were missed in the moment. Recognize the value of small actions. Even minor choices can have significant cumulative effects. Reflection amplifies awareness of these impacts. Consider alignment with personal values. Each day's behavior should be assessed against core principles to ensure authenticity and intentionality. Take note of resource use. Time, energy, and attention are finite. Reflection highlights areas where resources were allocated wisely or wasted, enabling better decisions tomorrow. Track progress toward goals. Each night, measure completion of tasks and milestones. Observing incremental progress reinforces motivation and provides a sense of accomplishment. Include contemplation of learning and skill development. Evaluate whether actions contributed to growth, mastery, or understanding, and identify areas for further development. Reflect on resilience. Notice how challenges were handled and identify ways to strengthen endurance, adaptability, and composure. Assess communication effectiveness. Consider whether messages, tone, and approach were clear, persuasive, and respectful. Adjust strategies based on insight. Examine balance between work, rest, and personal time. Reflection ensures that all areas of life are attended to without neglecting essential needs. Recognize moments of overreaction or underreaction. Understanding emotional responses informs strategies for consistency and calm under pressure. Identify sources of distraction. Nightly reflection reveals patterns that erode focus and productivity, allowing corrective measures to be implemented. Plan adjustments for tomorrow. Use insights to create actionable steps for improvement, rather than merely observing mistakes or successes. Build accountability through reflection. Honest assessment of actions fosters self-responsibility and reduces reliance on external validation. Observe the connection between effort and outcome. Reflection clarifies whether work is effective, consistent, and directed toward meaningful objectives. Integrate mindfulness into the process. Stay present in evaluating each moment rather than rushing to conclusions or judgments. Recognize incremental progress. Even small advances deserve acknowledgement and motivate continued effort. Cultivate patience. Reflection demonstrates that growth is a process and reinforces commitment despite temporary setbacks or slow results. Evaluate risk-taking and courage. Identify moments where hesitation or boldness influenced outcomes and consider adjustments to decision-making in similar circumstances. Observe patterns of avoidance. Reflection uncovers areas where fear or discomfort prevents action, providing insight into personal growth opportunities. Reinforce intentionality. Each night's analysis should clarify whether actions were deliberate and aligned with goals or reactive and scattered. Reflect on energy management.
Assess how mental, physical, and emotional resources were utilized and plan strategies to sustain or enhance performance. Consider creativity and problem solving. Reflect on innovative approaches taken and identify methods to expand creative thinking. Use reflection to strengthen self-awareness. Deep understanding of habits, motivations, and reactions empowers conscious choice in all areas of life. Incorporate lessons learned into daily routines. Adjustments made based on reflection create continuous improvement and prevent repetition of errors. Recognize adaptability. Reflection highlights flexibility in response to change and identifies areas for growth in resilience. Reinforce focus on priorities. Nightly evaluation ensures attention is directed toward actions that generate meaningful results. Record observations consistently. Maintaining a log of reflections allows tracking of patterns over time and provides insight into long-term growth. Transform reflection into action. Insights alone are insufficient. They must translate into concrete steps and strategies for tomorrow. Celebrate successes without complacency. Recognizing achievement reinforces motivation while maintaining the drive to improve. Use reflection to manage expectations. Honest evaluation prevents overestimation or underestimation of capacity, allowing realistic planning and sustainable effort. Observe interpersonal dynamics. Reflection on relationships, influence, and collaboration highlights opportunities for improvement and deeper connection. Apply problem-solving lessons. Analyze challenges faced, strategies employed, and adjustments needed for future success. Reinforce resilience through reflection. Reviewing responses to difficulty strengthens mental toughness and reinforces confidence in handling adversity. Prioritize continuous learning. Reflection uncovers gaps in knowledge, skills, or understanding, guiding targeted growth efforts. Recognize patterns in motivation and discipline. Identify triggers for high or low performance and implement strategies to maintain consistent drive. Use reflection to enhance decision-making. Assess the quality, speed, and outcomes of choices to refine future approaches. Integrate reflection into habit formation. Daily evaluation ensures that routines support goals, efficiency, and personal development. Strengthen self-trust. Honest assessment and adjustment based on reflection reinforce confidence in ability to navigate challenges. Observe emotional regulation. Reflection illuminates reactions, allowing conscious management of responses and maintenance of composure. Build momentum through insight. Lessons extracted from reflection provide guidance and motivation to act decisively and purposefully tomorrow. Utilize reflection to anticipate obstacles. Preparing for predictable challenges enhances readiness and reduces unnecessary setbacks. Commit to making nightly reflection a non-negotiable ritual. Consistency compounds awareness, learning, and improvement, producing long-term results in every aspect of life. Over time, the discipline of reviewing each day strengthens judgment, heightens self-awareness, and ensures continuous alignment with goals, values, and vision.
Chapter 10. Build resilience to overcome setbacks and stay motivated always. Resilience is the backbone of achievement, the silent force that allows individuals to rise after failure, endure challenges, and continue pursuing their goals when others surrender. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable, but the measure of progress is not in avoiding difficulty, it is in the ability to recover, adapt, and persist with unwavering determination. Building resilience requires deliberate mental conditioning, emotional strength, and the cultivation of habits that reinforce endurance. Begin by reframing failure as information rather than defeat. Each obstacle presents a lesson, insight, or opportunity to strengthen strategy, skill, and character. Viewing setbacks as temporary and instructive transforms challenges into stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Develop a mindset focused on control and influence. Identify what can be changed or improved, and release attachment to outcomes beyond immediate influence. This creates mental stability and prevents energy from being wasted on frustration or regret. Strengthens self-awareness to recognize triggers that induce stress, doubt, or fear. Awareness allows for proactive management of reactions, reducing the likelihood that adversity will derail focus or motivation. Practice emotional regulation. Resilient individuals acknowledge negative feelings without letting them dictate behavior. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or intentional pause before response cultivate composure under pressure. Build physical endurance alongside mental toughness. Regular exercise, adequate rest, and proper nutrition strengthen the body, providing energy and stamina that support persistence in all areas of life. Embrace discomfort intentionally. Exposing oneself to challenging circumstances in controlled ways trains adaptability, reduces sensitivity to stress, and increases confidence in handling future difficulties. Create a support system. Surround yourself with individuals who offer encouragement, constructive feedback, and accountability. Social reinforcement enhances resilience and provides perspective during trials. Set incremental goals to navigate setbacks effectively. Breaking objectives into manageable steps allows continuous forward movement, even when larger milestones seem distant or obstructed. Reflect on past successes and challenges. Recognizing previous recovery from adversity reinforces belief in personal capacity and motivates persistence through current difficulties. Develop problem-solving skill. Resilient individuals approach challenges with strategy rather than emotion alone, analyzing options, weighing consequences, and choosing effective action. Maintain perspective by separating temporary setbacks from long-term goals. Avoid magnifying obstacles or allowing minor difficulties to obscure vision of ultimate objectives. Cultivate patience. Resilience is rarely instantaneous. It is built through repeated engagement with difficulty, learning, and sustained effort over time. Use visualization to reinforce perseverance. Mentally rehearsing recovery, success, and overcoming obstacles prepares the mind to respond with focus and determination when real challenges arise. Practice gratitude to stabilize mindset during adversity. Recognizing existing resources, support, and past achievements maintains motivation and perspective in the face of difficulty. Develop flexible strategies. Adaptation is a hallmark of resilience. When plans encounter obstacles, being able to pivot effectively ensures continued progress. Strengthens self-efficacy through deliberate challenges. Consistently achieving small, meaningful objectives reinforces belief in capability, which becomes critical when confronting larger setbacks. Integrate reflection into daily routine. Analyze what worked, what didn't, and how improvement can be implemented to ensure setbacks contribute to growth rather than discouragement. Build resilience by taking responsibility for outcomes. Owning mistakes and successes fosters empowerment and reduces reliance on external validation or circumstances. Manage energy effectively. Recognize when to act, pause, or recharge. Physical, emotional, and mental fatigue reduce resilience. Deliberate restoration preserves capability. Encourage optimism without denial. A positive outlook enhances problem-solving and persistence, but should be grounded in reality to allow informed decision-making. Cultivate self-discipline. Resilient individuals maintain focus and effort even when motivation fluctuates, relying on habit and commitment rather than emotion alone. Observe patterns of stress response. Understanding personal reactions to pressure allows for preparation and development of strategies to remain steady in adversity. Use setbacks as opportunities to reassess priorities. Reflection during difficult times ensures alignment of effort with meaningful objectives. Build resourcefulness. Developing creativity, flexibility, and initiative enhances ability to navigate unexpected obstacles and recover efficiently.
Reinforce mental toughness through progressive exposure. Gradually increasing the difficulty of challenges strengthens confidence and capacity to endure future setbacks. Maintain focus on long-term vision. Immediate obstacles should be evaluated in context, preventing discouragement from temporary barriers. Practice problem anticipation. Predicting potential challenges and preparing contingency plans reduces shock and enhances resilience when difficulties arise. Develop assertive communication. Expressing needs, boundaries, and intentions clearly prevents unnecessary complications and supports recovery from interpersonal setbacks. Embrace learning as a constant process. Viewing every experience as an opportunity for growth fosters adaptability and reduces fear of failure. Strengthen adaptability by experimenting with new methods or approaches. Exposure to uncertainty in controlled ways builds confidence and flexibility. Integrate stress management technique. Practices such as mindfulness, visualization, or journaling provide tools for maintaining equilibrium during challenging situations. Reinforce internal motivation. Resilience thrives when purpose, goals, and values drive action rather than dependence on external rewards or validation. Build self-compassion. Recognize that setbacks are part of the growth process and treat yourself with understanding while maintaining accountability. Focus on actionable steps rather than ruminating on problems. Action creates momentum, which itself reinforces resilience and reduces the weight of setbacks. Celebrate small victories. Recognizing progress, even incremental, strengthens belief in capability and motivates continued effort. Avoid catastrophizing, exaggerating setbacks, or imagining worst-case scenarios amplifies stress and undermines recovery. Maintain a realistic yet determined mindset. Seek feedback actively. Constructive input from others provides perspective, new strategies, and confirmation of progress. Practice consistency. Regular engagement with effort, learning, and recovery creates a reliable pattern that strengthens resilience over time. Incorporate flexibility in goal pursuit. Being willing to adjust timelines, methods, or approaches prevents discouragement when obstacles arise. Develop the ability to detach from negative outcomes. Emotional distance allows for objective evaluation, learning, and strategic action. Reinforce mental framing by focusing on solutions rather than problems. Directing attention toward actionable options enhances efficacy and reduces feelings of helplessness. Observe role models of resilience, learning from the experiences and strategies of those who persist through difficulty provides guidance and inspiration. Strengthen internal locus of control. Believing in one's ability to influence outcomes enhances motivation, effort, and recovery. Use setbacks to test limits of endurance. Each challenge overcome reinforces confidence in capacity to persist under pressure. Integrate reflection, action, and planning into a continuous cycle. Learning from experience, applying solutions, and preparing for future challenges forms the foundation of lasting resilience. Recognize that resilience is built over time through repeated exposure, conscious effort, and disciplined practice. Each recovery from difficulty increases strength, deepens understanding, and solidifies the mindset necessary to remain motivated regardless of circumstances. Commitment to resilience ensures that obstacles are temporary, growth is constant, and the pursuit of goals remains unwavering. By intentionally cultivating strength, adaptability, and perseverance, every setback becomes an opportunity, every challenge a teacher, and every day a step closer to realizing potential.